Welcome back to the two-time award-winning Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on Vegas All-Net Radio. Do you guys hearing me? Because I'm not hearing myself. We are here with the Geek Lounge and...
The no award-winning Geek Lounge.
We'll give you
we have one award.
And Alexia! Yay!
Yay!
It's been a rough
Munch is now
weekend.
completely obscured by the mic stands, so he's going to have to go left or right here.
I'm the only one that needs to see Munch.
Hey, I brought goodies for the girls. These are, I love my Nordic
yummy.
Ware pancake popper pan. And so yesterday, I had a really bad mic day yesterday. So
I'm sorry.
So yesterday, in between all the water that I was looking through, I was searching for pancake popper recipes, or just pancake recipes. So I have one for cornbread muffins.
Ooh.
And anyway, these, you know, those little, I don't know if you've ever seen those little popper pans. They're the most adorable
You
thing,
showed me
right?
yours one time or something.
So this is like just pancake mix, this plain old instant pancake mix. And then I fried up some turkey and put some vegetables in it. And I made some mashed potatoes. And then I have gravy here in a bag. So all the stuff gets mixed with a pancake mix. You put it in the popper thing, flip it over. And that's when I put the mashed potatoes.
And it's yummy.
And they are so good. And I want to get one of those, you know, those where you squeeze stuff inside,
right?
Like you do Twinkies or something. And I wouldn't put the gravy on the inside. Wouldn't that be
Oh.
awesome?
Well,
to
and
have
then it
gravy
needs
on
a
the
little
inside?
side or a little
You need a little injector.
No, and then it needs a little frosting of cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce
Yeah.
frosting would be perfect. So
Yeah.
I might as well eat this
Yeah,
one since
it's-
Giving dinner in a bite.
It
There you
is.
go.
It is.
And my pan only makes like 5 at a time. So.
Oh wow,
I
then you were
spent-
really cooking.
Well, and I ate half of what's here already. That was my dinner.
Yummy.
But I love mini foods. You know, I did
Me
it with
too.
I did muffin lasagnas once, little mini muffin lasagnas, and I make sticky rice which sticks together. So I would put fish in the bottom, raw fish in the bottom, and then maybe some vegetables, and then some of that sticky rice already cooked on top, and then put it in the oven to bake. The fish would bake.
Ooh, yummy.
And then you flip it and soy sauce at the bottom. So when you flip it out, the soy sauce just like drips
Goes
over it.
through the
Those-
rice.
These
Wow.
little mini
You know what?
dishes,
When
they're
you,
really
I have,
good.
I feed a lot of kids all the time, so those little mini things like that, the kids love to eat. I make like little mini pot pies for everybody and stuff.
And they're
Yeah.
perfect for when you're on the go. You know, when you're
They
kinda,
are.
Yeah,
you know,
you
you're
just grab
short.
'em.
You're like, just give me a couple of these. Boom. There
Exactly.
it is.
Yeah.
Are we selling your Nordic Wear product right now?
You know,
Sin-
they
I was
should be a
saying-
sponsor.
I was
They're
saying
good.
Sin City Bounty, show 2 will be a cooking show. We'll have a cooking show.
I thought that was what was going to happen for a second.
Well, we're
I
glad
love
you're here
my
today
Nordic
and
Wear.
smiling, and it's not a bad day today.
So on my way here, I stopped at Starbucks and I decided to go in. I never go in. I'm always in the drive-thru. But I decided to go in, and when I got back out to my truck, it wouldn't start.
Ooh.
Did you leave your lights on?
And this is my big truck,
That was a big one.
which if I leave which I do all the time, leave my lights on, the batteries.
I know,
die.
that's why I asked.
So I'm trying to call on my phone my mechanic guy, which is my mom's boyfriend, and I can't find my phone. I had it in the truck when I got in the truck because I was listening to it, and I can't find my phone.
And you don't have another phone to call your phone to make it ring. So
Did you have the windows open?
Right.
It didn't roll off the dashboard, did it?
Well, I did not know this, but my mini iPad lets me do text messaging like it was my phone.
Right.
Oh, good.
You got my text, right?
I did get your text.
So I sent a text. I don't know where my phone is. And but I also have the Find My Phone app. But it doesn't really help much when your phone is right where you are because there's just 2 dots where you
problem
are.
is, though,
It doesn't say like it's under the seat of the truck or under the truck itself.
It's just right there with you.
Do
At
you
least you
have
knew it
your
was right there.
contact list on your iPad? How did you know their phone numbers?
I just had it has text messaging on my iPad.
It syncs your text messaging
To your
system.
phone.
to
Okay,
your-
okay,
yeah.
okay, guys. You just got to forgive me a little bit.
It was awesome. I was like, oh, dude, I can text message from my pad. I can't do it with the big one, but I can do it with
No,
the
just
little one.
with the mini one.
So Brian is with my truck right now. He was actually by my house already. So him and the guy that he was working on his truck with, the guy's truck with, went to my house, picked up my truck because Brian has spare keys for everything, brought me the other truck because I have 2 of them right now.
Right.
And he's
Good
gonna,
thing you got 2 right now.
Right. And he's going to take the other one to the house and figure out what's wrong.
Cali guy wants to know if he can make a special request for some with fruit filling, like cherry pie or jam, or
Yeah,
maybe
we've had enough of his cherry pie fruit filling.
I
okay?
I did that the other day.
Mm.
I just found my popper pan, so I've been doing everything popper, right? I went and bought a box of instant pancake mix. But I have recipes to make my own now. And I made one with, I can't have cream cheese because it's too high fat, but that N cheese. Neufchtel cheese. So I cut a square of that with some strawberry jelly or jam, preserves, that's what it was. And when I poured it in, you just stick it right on top because when you flip it, all the pancake batter flips.
Oh.
So it's like all stuck on the inside.
We need to have a party at your house and just make poppers.
I know. I'm going to get a couple more of those
Everybody,
I think you're getting an injector for Christmas.
Right?
Wait, she's going to buy you an injector and me a cutting board and a knife.
Right.
Sets.
The next one I'm making is chocolate. Chocolate filled.
Chocolate and peanut butter?
With maybe some whipped cream. I can't do peanut butter.
I like chocolate and strawberry.
Maybe chocolate and cream cheese would be good, huh?
Chocolate and strawberry.
Mm-hmm.
I love the chocolate and the berries together.
And that's just take a chocolate bar and crack it in the little squares and just stick it in the middle.
Yep.
You can make those for our 200th episode.
I could.
We'll be telling the Geek Boys about our live studio audience for the 200th episode. I think they'll be there. Will you boys be there for us?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Of course.
All right.
It's going to be fun.
I can't wait.
It's going to be fun.
I get to be like Oprah or Phil Donahue.
Oh, you're going to give us stuff?
No.
Oh.
Sally Jesse Raphael.
We are giving
Sally
away
Jesse
stuff.
Raphael.
We are going to give. We're getting a lot.
Cars?
No.
Oh.
We're not fucking Oprah.
Ugg boots?
Like.
How about
sorry.
fuck often jars?
Wouldn't it be great to be able to have the power of Oprah or Ellen? You go to an Oprah or Ellen show and you look under your seat, you got a brand new fucking house.
Yeah.
Up with that.
Oh, I just had a fabulous fucking idea. I'm not going to tell it on the air.
Oh, damn it.
But I just had a fabulous fucking idea. You have to come
For
to the
our
200th
show?
episode. Yes, we are going to give away something to everyone.
Here's
who
what I
shows
would
up.
do. I'd be like,
I just
everybody,
had this idea.
look under your seats. There's nothing here. Exactly. The floor is clean. Let's try to leave it that way when we leave.
No, we got a great location we're going to have it at, and we're going to contact all the club leaders and group leaders here, and anybody who wants to come. We're going to get donations for prizes, and it's going to be way fun.
Exciting. I'm excited. I can't believe we're on episode 200. You guys are at like 60, right?
No,
50,
yeah, almost 70.
That's a lot, guys.
No, I think we're almost in the 80s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Almost in the 80s.
I don't keep track of that.
You
He's
guys
the
are
numbers
gonna be
guy.
swinging out to 2 years here pretty soon, huh?
Really? Has it been that long?
Well, 52 is 1 year. If you do it every week.
Yeah, if you do it every week.
isn't it? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you guys. Oh,
We do.
time flies.
We do. We've done 51 a year, except for this year. We're only going to be doing 50 for this year. So
Oh, yeah.
because we missed one show because somebody had a heart attack.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so we did. Yeah, that's because we were all up the night before at the hospital.
You know what? I think that's why we're not quite where we should be. Is we've missed a couple of shows.
Yeah.
And I know one time we stopped because I think it was Super Bowl last year. We were like, we're not coming in. Deal with it. Super Bowl.
Has your show developed over the time that you've started since the very beginning when you started? Is it a lot different than it was, or?
I think so, right? Yeah.
I think it's really found its way. It's become more defined, and there are certain things that we still go back and forth on. Yeah, and a lot of the advice that you gave us, Alexia, and a lot of the advice that all of you guys have given us, and the John has given us, we've really taken to heart. So anytime anything starts to change on the show, I always try and go back to that. And I'm like, okay, how does our format feel? How does this go? How does that go? What did John say about that one time? And then me and Louise kind of go back and forth on and decide how much do we want to change? Because we want to keep it the same so everyone still likes it.
Right.
But at the same time, it's always evolving. It's always changing. So there has to be room for that.
Right.
So like Nerd News, for instance, there have been a couple times where we're like, once or twice, we've had no Nerd News. We just, I don't know, Sunday snuck up on us, and that's just the way it was. But overall, I think we try and have Nerd News in there always, because I think people expect it. They want to know what's happening.
I think the big thing too is that we've become a lot more comfortable actually behind the mics. I mean, if you listen to our very first show, we are completely lost. We're just
Stage fright.
Yeah, a lot of uhs and ums, and we weren't prepared for live radio, so it's a bit rough. But from then on to now, I think we've gotten a lot better.
Do you guys spend planning time before the show? Do you send emails back and forth? Do you get we usually,
We try to have a meeting a week.
We
sometime away from
meeting
show
a
night.
week and do all the background stuff, and then we send emails to each other if we find an interesting article. But as far as format. We don't have them, but we
No, we
do-
have a definitive
right. That's
format.
true.
Yeah.
We do. That's right. But as far as sometimes it's very spur of the moment.
Yeah,
Is that
people
what you're
always
saying?
ask me, "What are you guys going to talk about on the show?" I don't know, sex. We don't really have a specific topic unless we've booked a guest for a topic.
Right. Like you guys.
Right. Oh.
Like nerds.
And-
Nerd stuff.
See, our thing is, I always describe the show like this because we get the same question. Like, what are you gonna talk about? Geek stuff. And I tell everyone, I'm like, look, Luis is Jerry Lewis, or Dean Martin rather.
That's good.
Dean Martin. Luis is Dean Martin.
You're very popular in
He
Friends.
walks on. He everything off the top of his head. He knows factoids. He knows this and that, and what he doesn't know, he can look up. But he's very, like I said, if you know anything about Dean Martin, that's the way Dino was. He didn't rehearse. He didn't think about anything. He just walked on. Hey, I'm here. I'm cool. Walks off. I'm Jerry Lewis. I have to have a script. I have to know all my dates, all my things in line. We've got to go point A, point 2, point 3, point 4, all the way down the list. And if I don't have my list, I'm all of a sudden, break. Let's go to break.
But
And I'm
doesn't
like,
that make for a good marriage though? Because then
Yeah,
you
'cause it
have the
balances itself.
spontaneity
Yeah,
as well
yeah.
as the planning.
because when he
we
doesn't,
have that as well.
Yeah.
So
it's great when you find that balance, isn't it? Because
Mhm.
when Luis does sometimes can't quite find what to say, or when we need to move things along, then I know, okay, it's time for me to jump in and move things here. Then it's okay. Well, I can take a step back now because Luis is on a tangent and everyone's laughing, so we're all having a good time, and that's cool. And we just kind of go back and forth,
I
back and
tend
forth
to do that.
as
Do you
we
have
need.
a specialty on the show?
No, I'm not really.
You're
I'm
just a geek like the rest of us.
I just roll with the flow and give information when they don't have it.
He's downplaying his. I really think he really cements us together. He's kind of the best of both of us, and he can look stuff up.
He
really
makes
helps
us sound so
support.
great, doesn't he? He makes us sound a lot more awesome than I thought we were. All right, well, it works for me.
They're awesome. I'm just
well,
here for the ride.
from my experience, you used to be the peanut gallery, and the boys would be talking about something, and you would always give your 2 cents, but it was off mic. And now you can give your 2 cents on the air, which I think gives a nice third opinion. It's either a conglomeration of the two, completely different from the two, or it's just a different way of looking at it. So
Yeah, I say yes for that because we all got our own different
mhm.
opinions and things we like. Like we talked about last week with the manga. Yes, I'm always reading a manga no matter what. I'm always finding something new to read. I got a short attention span with certain things, so I need something to keep.
But
reading.
manga's good for that, though.
Yes.
Exactly. There's a lot of it.
So do each of you kind of take a different area? Is one of you more apt in, say, comic books, and maybe another one?
I think- well,
Comic books,
gamer?
manga, and gamer, right?
Well, I guess we
Yeah.
we all have kind of our specialty, but it's like you were saying earlier. We're all kind of like Renaissance sort of geeks. We kind of like everything. I mean,
Like
I still play
everything.
video games. I've played a lot of video games. I'm just not as apt to playing them as he is.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're all like all
And which
different
is
things.
the way which works just the reverse for us as well, because like I read Spider-Man, but I don't read a whole lot of other comics besides that. I might pick up one here or there, but the only thing I really keep up on is like one particular story arc of Spider-Man, and like I said, that's really it. Or I read manga. I've got a set that I have 2, but you know, D-Box is the one that really reads a lot of stuff and is always. I've got a list at home that's like double-sided. And every time I see D-Box, he's like, "Oh, you gotta check this one out. Oh, you gotta check this one. Oh, you gotta check this one." I'm like, "Dude, I haven't bought." Yes, I'll get around to it. Fine, I write it down. I'm like, I've got a whole list at home I have to check out.
When you guys go to gaming stores or comic book stores or any of those kind of venues where there are gamers and stuff like that, or nerds or
Mhm.
geeks, are you recognized? Do people know that you're the Geek Lounge?
Only at Comic Oasis.
I think there's been. I think I was one time at another comic book store that I was actually recognized. And
You're
But you guys-
famous.
And I
But do you guys
wasn't-
tell people about your show at all?
Yeah, is there a flyer in these comic book stores
There should
about
be.
your show?
Comic Oasis. Well, probably not
Are
now,
you
but I was
are
going
you
down.
Facebook friends with all these comic book stores? Is the Geek Lounge Facebook? We're teaching you marketing
I'm,
101.
I'm just trying to find out. Do you have those crazy nerd girl fans? Do you have any of those?
Do you have fangirls yet?
Not
No.
yet. No.
Not yet?
Not that we're really aware of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to remedy that.
So Tyzone 31 wants to know, Geek guys, what's y'all's favorite sports teams?
Is that a
Which
right
sport?
question?
I think we got asked this the last time we were here, weren't we?
I
don't
think
know.
so.
Which sports teams?
From
Let's
what
do
sport?
guys
From
like
which
Football,
sport?
Let's do
hockey,
football season is upon
tennis.
us, and you guys all took Super Bowl off, so I'm assuming you watch football.
Yeah, that's good. Good point.
American football.
Yes.
Okay.
In Vegas?
No,
On Vegas,
that's
your
right.
favorite
You
team
are.
is who's winning.
You
Who
watch
have a bet
soccer.
on.
I do,
Often.
but I
Or,
call
sorry,
it football.
football.
I call it football.
Oh, there were
Football,
soccer games
football.
on yesterday.
It's spelled with a U.
Yeah, football.
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 In
the
Vegas, your
football.
favorite team is whoever you got a bet on.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
There's
the
the guy.
answer in Vegas.
Well, I guess if we're gonna go football, mine's the Chargers, which
Chargers.
haven't won a Super Bowl ever. And they're not really.
Do you have a
doing very
favorite
well.
football team?
Yeah, it depends on what division, like
Brazil.
European or Spanish
Brazil.
or.
I just like the men on the team.
What do you think of the American football teams?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, football or football?
Football.
Football.
I like that they're trying. I like that it's coming up now, because back then nobody watched football
Yeah.
or soccer nobody really watches soccer then. Now
Unless
it's
they have-
now it's starting to pick up steam, and it's because of the MLS that it's starting to pick up some steam here. So I mean, I don't watch it as much as I watch like the European leagues, but I do occasionally sometimes sit down and watch.
So in Europe, what's your favorite team?
In Europe, it depends on the English. Like the English Premier League, like I like Chelsea. Spanish League, I like Barcelona. It depends on it depends on the league.
And then South America?
South America, I got to go with Mexico. even
No,
though
wait a
they're
minute. How many
terrible.
leagues does Europe have?
Yeah, I was just gonna wonder
There's
that.
there's a bunch. There's a
Is
lot.
it like the NFL here,
It's
where
much
there's
bigger
the
than the NFL.
AFC and the NFC?
Isn't it much bigger?
Because
than
that's
the
just
NFL?
2 leagues, and then they're all in the NFL.
sorry, what?
It's much bigger than the NFL.
Oh yeah, because it's like the English league. There's a Spanish league, and they don't really. It's very rare that they actually have games together.
That's
Sometimes
right.
they will have like friendly
Well, the World
friendly
Cup,
games, and then
right?
there's the
The
World
World
and then the
Cup,
World
yeah.
Cup is all the international teams. Basically, you go back home to play soccer. So like one of the best players on Barcelona, which is my favorite Spanish team, Lionel Messi, for example, he's from Argentina. So when the World Cup comes around, he goes back to Argentina to play in the
Oh,
World
it's
Cup.
not their own
Oh.
teams. that go
No,
to the World Cup.
no. The
They make
actual
the World
country, the
Cup.
countries have their own
Oh,
teams. So
wow.
World Cup
okay.
is like Olympics, but for soccer, right?
basically,
Yeah.
you basically just go home and play for that team.
Wow.
Wow, I
So-
didn't realize that.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Okay.
I just know that the Brazilian team is really hot.
All soccer. It's the same. I like soccer players for the same reason like drummers. Endurance.
Yo,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's
Yeah.
something about.
guys-
I think a lot of people don't realize how much endurance you need to play soccer. There's
Right.
a lot of running
they're
in
running
soccer
up and down
all
the
the time.
field a
Yeah,
I was gonna
Zillion
say
times.
that's a
Yeah.
huge field
Yes,
as
it
well.
is.
it's one thing when you're starting and stopping, like in the NFL or something like that. But
Right.
which is not to take away from them. But when you're constantly running up and down the field all the time, it takes a toll on you.
Oh yeah.
It's really hard.
Well, it's a trade. Either you
Yeah.
get smashed or you have to run a lot. One of the two. You either get a
Well,
concussion
that's
or
the
you
thing,
run a
though,
lot.
Or
is-
you could play rugby, and that's both.
Even though soccer players are smaller, they're still running at you at like 50, 40, 50 miles
And
an hour or
kicking
something
you.
like
When you
that,
go
and
to a
kicking you or
live-
running into you without any pads. Like you only have shin pads and a cup, and that's it. So,
When you go to a live football game, though, I don't know if you've ever been aware of it or how many live games you've been, but like when they're on the line and then the whistle blows, all you hear is click, 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 all the helmets ganging
Yeah.
against each other and the shoulder pads, and it's kind of disturbing when you hear it because it's like they're banging into each other.
I like rugby.
Rugby's a fun sport to watch.
Rugby
I haven't
is.
really gotten into it, but I've watched a few matches.
I want
Few
to watch
games
some
are-
rugby. I've
Yeah.
heard good things. My government teacher in high school talked it up quite a bit, and I still have not checked it out.
I think the new Fox Sports networks are going to be carrying rugby. I have to
Ooh,
double
good.
check that again.
I hope
but
so.
yeah.
I'd like to start checking out rugby.
I've seen a couple of matches. They're just raw, dirty,
Yeah.
fabulous games to watch.
See, that's how I feel about hockey. Now, I'm
and they
from
all wear
Detroit.
really short shorts, so you're always in danger of a nut shot, and I love
Ah!
it. It's like squacking on a field.
So, what's new in? Did you guys talk about what's new in the geek world yet? What's new in the?
No, I
in
asked him
comic
about
books?
Thor, the new
The
Thor
new movie coming up.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's do games first. So, what's coming up in games that you guys are excited about? I mean, what have you been talking about or leading up to, or in
Yeah.
the world of gaming?
I'd get a nipple rub on that one.
The PS4 is what we were talking about earlier today. That's a really big thing coming up. Well, or the Xbox One, depending on where you stand on the fence.
And this what you discussed on your show today.
yeah.
So when people go listen to the archives, they
Well,
can find out everything that
They're
you
gonna
guys
they're
know
gonna hear
about
us
what's
they're gonna hear us talking about the PS4
okay.
because I'm a big PS4 advocate. So Xbox got a little bit of, but the
Yeah.
PS4 is going to be amazing, and it's coming out. It'll be out soon. It's going to
He
be
hates
really
the
It's
Xbox
great.
going to
so
be out
much,
for
it's just-
Christmas.
It is. It's
Yeah.
actually out this Friday.
There's probably going to be none available.
No, they're going.
Nah, they'll probably
Now,
all
how
be
much
for
are they
that.
going for?
$3.99.
That's not bad.
It
Actually.
isn't bad.
Now, I know that one of the problems with a lot of the new gaming consoles is they won't play old games.
None
Yeah,
of
they're
them
not
will.
backwards compatible yet.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Is
the only.
PS4 going? No, PS4 won't be either.
None of them will.
That's like some wise ass marketing.
Well, here's the
Basically.
here's the thing. It's
And I mean wise ass.
I so want to upgrade to the PS4. Like I have seen all the specs on it. I have bled my eyes dry watching the internet videos about this fucking thing, right? I am ready to masturbate with my PlayStation 4 controller. But the reason
That's what
I
the
haven't
vibration function's for.
That's right. The reason I haven't upgraded in as many years as I have is because my PlayStation 3 is first generation. I can play PS1 games on that motherfucker.
That's awesome.
I am
Yeah.
seriously backwards
But
compatible.
you can still keep it. You keep both.
I could, except that I've already had to send it in once, and they've already had to threaten me with, we may not be able to repair it. We'll have to send you another one. And it's like, no, if you can't repair it, you send it back.
Yeah.
I will find someone who can
Oh,
repair it.
absolutely. There's always someone out there.
Because I loved that was one of PlayStation's big things was that it was always backwards compatible, and I hate that in the second and third generations of the PlayStation 3 they lost that.
I think Luis is going to have to do a PSA on consoles next because he has one about used games.
Right.
But it always breaks my heart when, like you're talking about, some people just upgrade and get rid of their old systems. I still have a PS1 and a
I
PS2
still have the mobile
and the
PS1
PS3
unit, the one that you could buy a monitor for. And
Yeah.
Oh,
connect it.
yeah.
I
still
had a
have
friend who
that.
had that. I wish I had gotten that one, but like I don't understand why people feel the need like, oh, I've got the PS2, so I'm gonna throw the PS1 away. I'm like, but the PS1 still works, and all these things are not gonna work all the time. Like
Wow.
your PS3 will not work forever. So
No, it
wouldn't it be
won't.
advantageous to have a PS1 that will play PS1 games, or at the very least a PS2 which will play PS1 and PS2
Now,
games?
why do you think PS, which stands for PlayStation, for those of you guys who don't obla,
Sorry.
why do you think they made
I
it
knew that.
non-backwards compatible?
More
Why-
To
models.
compete with Xbox.
I think it's to buy more, for you
Yeah,
to
to
buy
pay
more
more
games,
games,
because
exactly.
you're going to end up paying more for games now. And the games are like 50, 60, they're 60
Well,
bucks right now.
So it's all
I'll
about
get
the
into
money.
the-
yeah,
I'll
you're
get
going to end
into
up
the-
paying $70.
Here, I'll argue with you on this. The reason they had to remove backwards compatibility is because they had to have different types of readers and different types of processors inside the system, and in order to slim the system down, and that's why the first generation PlayStation overheated. That's why its biggest problem was overheating.
Mhm.
Number one, the vents were placed in terrible positions, but all of the extra hardware needed to access the software on those original decompressed single layer discs,
Yep.
which is why when you bought PS1 games, they came in like 8 disc sets. In order to compete with Xbox to make it sleeker and thinner and lighter and faster and have more HD capability and more this and more that, they had to remove that to compete with Xbox.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh.
So, and that's the only reason. But I don't think they needed to because Xbox has run its course. They're throwing Xbox One out there, and even diehard Xbox people are like, I don't know if I want to get it because I don't know if I want all my stuff to be, right there and accessible by Xbox at any point. That's one of the things they are like, it's Microsoft, or Xbox is Microsoft.
Yep.
And they're a data collecting company, and that's what they plan on doing with Xbox One,
Absolutely.
and they've been open with it. They plan on data collecting.
That's
on
why
you.
the Kinect, once it's plugged in, it's always on. It's never off. Even when you tell it off, it goes into standby mode. It doesn't actually turn
Oh,
off.
that's
You've
big
got
You have to
brother.
turn it. You have to unplug
unplug
it. Which I'm like, I'm fine with that because I want the Kinect because there are a lot of fun games out there like the Star Wars game, which is so cool. But yeah, I'm like, I don't need you to be on all the time, and I don't want you collecting data like that, or seeing how many people in the room and then shutting my game off because it's like, oh, you have one more person in the room, you need to pay for that person to play this game.
Right,
It's none of your business
hell no.
who's in my room, playing games with me.
right.
On the lines of the backwards compatibility, though, I've heard that before, and it might be true. I really don't think it is, though, because with the way technology is and how everything's becoming much smaller and much more
With the
compact.
newer processors, they
I-
could probably do that now, but and especially with the newer readers, and
Yeah.
they could probably build the software in to allow it to understand and read and go on with what it's
Exactly.
doing. But
I'm against having a lot of stuff on like cloud servers anyways. So like I don't know if anyone remembers, but there was a time where the readers were getting really popular. Not iPads, but like you just had them for reading books.
Right.
Well, they had a big run on what was it, the Anarchist Handbook? I always cite this because it's my exact fear. I'm going to put all my games on this network, and then someone's going to come out, someone's going to get sued or something, and the company's going to go, "Oh, we need to take this game down," and there's nothing to stop them from taking your game away.
Okay, so that was going to be my next question is with the advent and popularity of things like Hulu and now Cox has Contour and Netflix where everything is streaming. I don't think anybody does the Netflix DVD service anymore unless you live in the Midwest or anything. Do you see and Facebook games that everybody's the candy crushing thing? Do you see games moving in that direction for the majority where you don't have to go buy the hard copy? You could just pay for it online.
PlayStation started that with PlayStation Network.
I'm talking about a complete get away from discs for your games.
Yeah,
even though I know that's
digital,
not what you would rather not have
PlayStation
do.
Network,
But
you could download the game from there. You can download original old games. That's the only way you can really play old games.
A lot
on
of
your,
them.
Yeah.
Is to download them.
That's the way the companies want everything to go, and there are a lot of people. I think it will continue to grow, but it's kind of like books. You know, everyone thought they're like, oh, now that we have the internet, books are just going to die off. But there are people who like to sit down with the book. They like the smell of the book. They like turning the page and everything like that.
I like taking it in the toilet.
They like taking the toilet.
That's where all my books are.
But then there's the people like myself who, again, like that goes and coincides with my fear of them taking my stuff away because I paid for it. It should be there. If you got in trouble with a lawsuit or whatever, that's your problem. But I bought this copy of this. It is my copy. You should not take it away.
Now, I have an iTunes account. I subscribe to The Walking Dead since I don't have cable, so I bought the season pass. Every Sunday or Monday morning, I can download the newest episode. It's mine. It's a digital. It's mine. Can't you do the same thing with the games? Can't it be a file on your
here's the thing
PS or your Xbox?
Well, here's the thing with the way the new gaming systems are going. They have access to the files on your system now.
At all times.
Because you are connected to the internet. So it doesn't matter if you have the hard copy downloaded and saved to your PlayStation, because they can access it and delete it from your PlayStation.
Yep.
Your cable company can do that. Your cable company, your satellite companies can do that with your
iPhones,
DVR.
Your iPhones, if they want, they can shut all your iPhones off.
Oh yeah.
There is a program, and I know it's a big thing during like the iPhone 2 or something like that when someone found it, and now they've just gotten better about hiding it, and they also downplay it, but it's still there. They can still, and that's one reason. The other side of that too is that I'm a collector. I like when I buy my games. The only games that I ever like turn in for like points or resale are sports games because I'm not really big on sports, but all my other things, I like having the box. I like having the little booklet. The little warning is a plus. I know it seems really stupid, but it's the fact that it's complete. I have the whole complete thing like it was brand new, and I don't like having the greatest hits with this great big green blob at the top of my game that says greatest hits on it. I'm like, I just want
the original.
The original. Yeah. So anytime I buy anything, I try my best to get the original
oh my gosh.
the original
book. So I love Lunar. That came with so much crap. It was unbelievable. Every time it came with like an art book.
I still have all 6 discs. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So besides, we actually have to take a break and come back with Nationwide BBW Club Count. But we got more What's Up with the Geek World coming up with the Geek Lounge right here in studio with us here on SinCityBounty, Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on VegasOnNetRadio.com. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.